listeners. You're listening to the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show with Ronald Couming from RCS Technology Solutions and RCS Online Solutions. The purpose of this show is basically we split the show up into three parts. I bring on two subject matter experts from around the globe, and we give actionable tips to entrepreneurs and business owners to help them achieve even greater success. Today, we are pleased to have with us Reid. Reid is a filmmaker and keynote speaker. And also, he is a number one best-selling author, entrepreneur, and the CEO of several successful corporations who has dedicated his life to helping others achieve the ultimate fulfillment of finding and living a life of purpose. Greg, how are you today?
Come on now. I'm always good. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. I was just talking about you to one of my clients today. One of the events I saw you at when we were in Beverly Hills not too long ago, at a beautiful location, 17,000 square foot home. You talked about the 3 Feet from Gold, the book.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the best-selling I've done is called 3 Feet from Gold. It's a story about R.U. Darby. It's taken from the Bible of Personal Development, Think and Grow Rich, where this gold miner went out west, started digging, found a couple nuggets, and got excited. He hid it, buried it, told his family and friends. They chipped in money to buy equipment to pull it out by the truckload. And the first ore cart came up, and it was filled with gold. They started doing the happy dance, but the gold ran out. They kept digging, but there was just no more gold. Defeated, he walked out of the mine, sees a junk man walking by, says, "Hey, give me $200. I'm going to sell you this mine, all the equipment. I'm done." The junk man, looking at the equipment, said, "Sure, you got yourself a deal," realizing it was worth thousands of dollars. Well, Darby leaves. He's a defeated guy. But the junk man does something brilliant. He goes to an engineer, says, "What happened? This guy hit gold and ran out." The engineer says, "Gold runs in a straight line. It's called the gold vein." He says, "Darby hit gold, popped back into dirt." He goes, "Just go back to where they discovered treasure, go 3 feet, 90 degrees the other way, you'll tap back into the vein." Not only did the junk man pull millions upon millions of dollars out, but that's what helps fill Fort Knox today. And the moral is, how many times have we or someone we know quit one class short from a degree or sales or marketing or making another call, and the miracle could just be right on the other side.
I love it. And that kind of like brings home what happened last night. You know, I'm from Boston, although I'm calling in from St. Croix, and you're in California right now, right?
Absolutely. And exactly. Well, there it is. Everyone knows, you know, that last yard, that 3 feet in the end zone, that's the toughest time to get through, the red zone. And yet that's where the games are won or lost. That's where Super Bowl champions are made, or, you know, the stories of people which they could have gone a little bit further. And I realize that that's the same in life and business. It's just that extra little bit, that 3 feet, that separates ourselves from greatness.
I love it. And like I said, a little plug to my Patriots last night, but that's another conversation. But yeah, Greg, I mean, you're huge. I love it. You're also the a creator or co-author or founder of Secret Knock as well.
Yeah, so Secret Knock is a very private, invite-only gathering of like-minded people. So my job, for people that don't know my work, don't feel bad. I'm not very popular at home either. I've been published now in, I think, 56 books, 45 different languages. And my job is to travel the world to meet the most powerful and influential people and tell their story in book and film. And people kept asking how they can meet my friends. So I started an event in my living room with 12 people. And now, 10 years later, we're Forbes, Inc., Entrepreneurs, like top event for entrepreneurs that attend. And the way we do it is very special. We actually bring in the human beings that accomplish what everyone else is talking about. So if you want to start a nonprofit, we bring in the founder of Make-A-Wish. If you got an idea for a clothing line, the founder of UGG Boots. If you got an idea for a pizza chain and everyone thinks you're crazy, meet Gene Landrum, who brought a rat into the restaurant business and created Chuck E. Cheese. The whole idea is surround yourself with people that are actually doing what you want, and you can start doing it for yourself.
Yeah, I love it. And it's funny, as you're rattling off them names, it's like I know them, you know, Frank and Gentleman Smith, Brian from UGG Boots, and, you know, I know them too, and it's like how you talk, and I talk too, but this is really about you and your stuff, how you talk about how you surround yourself with the people that you want to emulate and be like.
Well, exactly. The whole idea of life and business is to surround yourself with people that are getting the results that you want and duplicate it. So, look, I got a D in English. I'm the least qualified, best-selling author in the world. I'm just a regular guy. So what I did is I went to Barnes & Noble, and I bought every best-selling book. And I asked those authors to teach me what they did. Now, notice, I didn't go to people who wrote books. I went to people who sold books. And I said, how did you do it? And I just duplicated their efforts, and here we are today. Same thing a couple years ago. I went to Africa and climbed and summited Mount Kilimanjaro. I didn't ask some surfer kid, on the beach to take me up the mountain. I found that people that have climbed it 600, 700, 800 times, I hired them. Wherever they put their boot print, I just put my boot print because I knew they'd make it to the top. We can have anything we want in life as long as we surround ourselves with people who are already doing what we want.
I love it. You mean so we shouldn't take financial advice from our broke friends?
It's an interesting thing. The founder of string theory, of all people, taught me the greatest lesson. He said, successful people seek counsel and failures listen to opinion. And I said, what's the difference? He goes, opinion is based on ignorance, lack of knowledge, inexperience, like all your family friends who've never done it. Counsel is based on wisdom, knowledge, mentorship, people who paved the way. If you go to a family friend and say, I'm going to write a book, they're going to tell you every reason not to do it because they've never done it themselves. If you go to Mark Victor Hansen, who wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul, he'll say, before you get started, here's what you need to know and give you counsel based on wisdom, knowledge, mentorship. John Schwartz said, if we would spend our daily lives only seeking counsel and ignoring people's opinion, that's the day your life would change.
I love it. And you work with a lot of entrepreneurs, but the list of people that you work with, you're working with billionaires and Fortune 500, probably closer to Fortune 10 companies. Can you just give us a little idea of, I know you, I've met you, I've listened to you, but the listeners don't. So can you kind of like give them an overview of who you are and what you do?
Sure. I'm a regular cat, live in San Diego, California, right along the beach. And my job is just to travel the world to meet the most prolific people and tell their stories. And it's given me an opportunity to sit down with some of the greatest iconic figures you could possibly imagine. And it's just been a blessing along this journey. And I keep realizing that, everyone's the same. The only difference is certain people had that gumption to go 3 more feet, 3 feet from gold. You're smart, I'm smart, and I realize that at the end of the day, if we would have that perseverance and surround ourselves with people that could give us counsel, ultimately we can get the life of fulfillment we want for ourselves.
I love it. And San Diego's, I've been out there a few times now doing presentations in groups and stuff, and what a group of people, all in Southern California. You have great thought leaders, and I don't know if it's the weather, but Laguna Beach, all that whole area, so nice.
Yeah, I think everyone congregates over here because it's a pretty nice place to live. It's a good quality of life, but, it's the same thing anywhere. I mean, we don't have the 4 seasons, but on the same note, we got sandy beaches. You pick your poison. I will say this, though, along the journey, in meeting all these amazing people, one of the common denominators comes down to one of these books that I had a chance to write. It's called Stickability. It's about the power to persevere. And one of the stories I interviewed was Marty Cooper, founder of, the inventor of the cellular phone. I mean, everyone's heard of a cell phone. And I said, what does stickability mean to you? And he said, stickability has to be the same as flexibility. You have to be willing to adapt and adjust. And he told a story about a spider monkey. He said in the rainforest, the spider monkey is the most quick, nimble creature. You can't harpoon it, spear it, catch it. It's too wiry. One hunter figured it out. He took a heavy log, drilled a tiny hole, and dropped a peanut inside and walked away. The monkey smelled the nut, come down, reach his hand inside the hole, grab a hold of the nut, and his fist becomes so big he can't pull it back out, become anchored to the log. Now all he's got to do is let go, but he thinks that nut is nutrition. It's saving him. The hunter comes by an hour later and captures this elusive spider monkey. The big question is, are we holding on to our own nut in life? And it could be in the form of a car or a deal or a relationship or a house. And what we think is saving us right now, just like the monkey thought the nut was, could be the thing that's leading to our own demise. Sometimes we have to have the courage to let go so we can live to fight another day.
I love it. What are some of 2 or 3 of the biggest mistakes or things that entrepreneurs and business owners are doing, maybe in the beginning or in the middle of their careers, that is preventing them from going up a level or 2?
Well, I'll give you the quantum one. And again, I'm a student, so I'm on the journey myself. And right now I'm doing a book called Wealth Hack, where I'm interviewing people worth $100 million to $1 billion all around the world. And I was hanging out with a multi-billionaire just recently, and I said, why are you a billionaire and I'm not? And he says, because you believe the lies that you tell. And I said, oh, my gosh, what does that mean? And he says, you tell people to go find their passion and the money will follow. I go, yeah. And he goes, that's complete hogwash. I go, what do you mean? And he says, well, 95% of businesses fail every single year. You know the statistic of all these new businesses. It's not because of the money or the type of industry they go into. It's because of that lie, because of their passion. What happens is they hold on so tight to it that they die and they go down with the ship. He goes, entrepreneurs don't think that way. We're like a game of Frogger. We ride one log, and as soon as it goes underwater, we jump off to the next log driving by. We'll never go down. He says the idea is to look for, capitalize on opportunity, make enough wealth and income from it that you use that prosperity to go live your passion. He goes, but don't do it the other way around. And he says, do you think the titans of industry that created the aggregates to build the roadways, or, you know, the Rockefellers with crude oil, or, you know, anyone from the steel corporations or whatever were really passionate about that industry? You think they're really that excited, wake up and go, yay, shale oil? He goes, but they found an opportunity, they capitalized on it, and it gave them the resources, the opportunity to go live a passion-filled life.
I love it, because I hear so many people saying that, too, about your passion, follow your passion. But there's a whole school of thought, like Michael Gerber's book, when he talks about in the E-Myth Revisited, when he talks about going from adolescence to that next level, and how some people will even have a barber shop or a pizza place, and they'll put their own name on it or something. And I think that kind of falls into what you're saying, because the example he gives, I believe, was a lady who had a pie shop because everybody told her she had great pies, and that was her passion, and she loved to do it. But that doesn't necessarily make you a good business person.
Well, go back to the concept of Ugg boots. Now, when Brian Smith, one of our both mutual friends, he grew that to $24 million, and he said he grinded every single dollar out of that $24 million. He goes, but when he sold it to Deckers just a few years later, it became $1 billion juggernaut. You know why? It wasn't their baby. They didn't treat it as such. They looked at the opportunity. The same as McDonald's. People go, oh, McDonald's, all your passion and the whole bit. No, Ray Kroc bought that business from two guys and created what it is. Same as Colonel Sanders. Everyone tells you lies about Colonel Sanders. The realities are he grew it to a certain level, but again, a couple people came in and bought it, gave him on as a spokesperson, but they're the one that grew it to KFC. It's usually that second person in line that grows the business because they're not emotionally attached to it.
I love it. Sort of like just get out of your own way.
Well, that, or surround yourself with amazing people that can help you grow. And again, that's old school money. That's old school billions. The new school billions is a little bit different. Now it's the Elon Musks and the Mark Zuckerbergs. These guys are brilliant. And what they're smart enough is to surround themselves with modern technology and human beings and resources that can help them grow their industry in a whole new level.
Yeah, so it's like systems win, people fail. That's one of the other catchphrases we hear a lot.
Well, yeah. I mean, and everyone knows all the cliches. It's just a matter of doing it. Look, many receive great advice, but not everyone does anything with it. The whole concept is, I always say, where would you be tomorrow if you started applying what you know today? If you took everything you know and started doing it today, what would it look like tomorrow? And it's just being kind to your future self. That means if you want to be 20 pounds lighter next month, you got to put down the cheeseburger today. And then when time comes up to you, guess what? You're all dialed in. That's the way life works. What can we do today to be kind to our future self?
I love it. Greg, we have about 6 minutes left. I want to make sure people have an opportunity to get your contact information, but also any thoughts you want to leave the listeners with. Do you have a course, a book, or something that you'd like the listeners to consider buying to help them, or some free advice to help them get out of their own ways? Or anything? Well,
there's so many books out there. I mean, there's so many great things for people to enjoy, not only mine, but other people's as well. People that are interested in learning about Secret Knock. Look, it's expensive. I'm going to tell you right now, it's very expensive. It's exclusive, and it's worth it. Go to secretknock.co. We left the M off so no one could find us. Just secretknock.co and apply to come play. And if you make the cut, you can start surrounding yourself with the actual people that are doing what most can only dream about. So that's my recommendation. Apply to attend a Secret Knock, and your life will never be the same.
Now, listeners, that is extremely good advice. I know the people in the room, and I've dealt with them, and I know them personally, as I do Greg, and I'm telling you, if you're in business, you really want to level up. And in order to do that, you need to put yourself in the room, like Greg was saying, seek counsel, not opinions and not advice. Greg, a couple of those tidbits that the users, the listeners,
everyone understands this, that we're a reflection of the people we hang around the most, and our income, our attitude, and our lifestyle is the average of the group. If you hang around people that complain, bitch, and moan, then that's your conversation. If you hang around people that are positive and solution searching, then that too becomes a conversation that plays within our mind. It's extremely important to make sure that you're not the smartest person in your group. If you look around and say, geez, it seems like no one else gets me, congratulations, you're in a great spot. But now it's time to put yourself in a circumstance, in a situation, surround yourself with people that not only think that you're not crazy, but they want to encourage you and help you take your life to a whole new dimension.
Oh, excellent, positive advice. And I just want to let the listeners know, this episode is archived. It's archived on my website, rcstechnologysolutions.com. It's also archived on the radio station's website, WCAT980am.com. So if you were unable to write down Greg's information or the books, secretknock.co, you can certainly contact me, or you can go and listen to the archives. Greg, it's been great listening to you. I really appreciate you taking the time to enlighten the listeners.
Absolutely. And remember, everyone listening to this, you got greatness inside of you, just like Les Brown says. But for years, you've been taking care of your family and friends and everyone else and saying, you're waiting until it's your turn. It is your turn. It's 2017. Draw a line in the sand and say, it's my turn. I deserve my greatness. I'm going to step into it. I'm going to take that action. And I guarantee you, society and everyone's waiting to hear what you got to say.
I love it. And the people you're mentioning, Les Brown, I mean, he is a giant. He's going to be at Habitude. Are you going to that in Dallas in April?
I will not go to that one, but that's all my circle sphere of influence. I've got another project that I'm working on right now. And Eric Swanson and the Habitudes guys are fantastic. Les Brown is such a family friend. I mean, he did the prayer at my child's baptism and the toast at my wedding. So he's one of the most incredible people you could ever surround yourself with.
I love it, and I'll be speaking too at Habitude Warrior. I'll be there as the internet marketing expert with Eric Swanson. But I can't believe I'll be sharing the stage with someone like Les Brown, and plus a whole bunch of other people. 33 speakers there. It's going to be a great event. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. If the people you surround yourself with, stay away from the negativity. We could certainly go on for a whole nother section just in that. But it's been great having you, Greg. I'm really thankful that you came on the show. I don't know if the listeners appreciate the caliber of person you are and who you surround yourself with, but if you don't know Greg Reid, Reid, you definitely want to Google him and check him out. Thanks again,
cool.
Greg.
I appreciate it. Keep smiling. Bye.
Bye-bye.